Hey everybody, this is Bob Kovacs with the unboxing of the Blackmagic Cinema Camera MFT. Now Blackmagic has a very interesting lineup of video cameras that they use for digital cinematography. This one falls into the middle of the pack. This is called the Blackmagic Cinema Camera, and the MFT refers to the kind of lens it uses. That stands for micro four thirds. So this is a version of the Blackmagic Cinema Camera that uses a micro four thirds lens mount. Now there's also the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera. That's a smaller camera than this, also shoots very high quality. And there's also the Blackmagic Production Camera 4K. That's the model above this that can do 4K video. Let's talk about this camera. This can do 2.5K. What the heck is 2.5K? This has an image sensor resolution of 2432 by 1366 pixels. That's 2432 by 1366. And if you multiply those two numbers together, you get something like 2.5K, something like that. So it is higher than HD resolution. So let's go ahead and open the box. This is, as far as I know, an unopened box. I just received it from Blackmagic Design to review it today. So I'm going to open the box and get going. Very interested in using this camera, and boy did they send me a lot of accessories to go with it. This is, I assume, a manual as well as software. Now the Blackmagic Design Cinema Camera comes with DaVinci Resolve software. That's this right here. Now DaVinci Resolve is a color grading system, and it also allows you to do some editing as well. So that's the DaVinci Resolve. Now, I don't know if you can read this. It says DaVinci Resolve 9. I believe there's a DaVinci Resolve 10. I can probably get that via download. Also, this just says Blackmagic Design. It is a DVD. That's the software and manual that's in that DVD. And it looks like I got a getting started guide as well. And that's just a slipcover for those materials. Wait, there's something in here. There we go. We got some kind of a dongle. Oh, that's DaVinci Resolve. So DaVinci Resolve, I don't really know for a fact, but it looks like this is a dongle that you may need to have in the computer in order for DaVinci Resolve to function. Now DaVinci Resolve is something that Blackmagic sells all by itself for $1,000. The camera, by the way, has a retail price of $2,000. Now that is without a lens. Fortunately, I have a couple of micro four thirds lenses, good micro four thirds lenses, that I will be using with the camera. So far we've got some manuals, a getting started manual, some software including DaVinci Resolve, and a dongle that works with Resolve. Okay, let's see what we got here. There's a variety of power adapters for different countries. Of course, I won't need those here in the US, so I will just leave those in the packaging. But there are 4 power adapters for a variety of international power types. This one looks like the US power type right there, actually. So maybe I will need to use that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Yes, in fact, I will need to use the US power adapter. So I slide that off, and then I slide this on, like that. And now it's set for the US power adapter. That's the power adapter right there. I'll set it down, and I'll put these guys back. This one goes here like this, and this one goes here like that. Okay. And here we go. It comes with a strap, a strapping strap. It says Blackmagic on it. It comes with a hood for the viewfinder. I'm going to set that down over here. And of course there is the camera itself, which I think I'm going to, and they also packed a nice long reddish brown hair in there. My gosh, a lovely strand of hair. I'm not sure if I want to know who that belonged to or not, but let's get the camera out of here. I'm going to turn the box upside down to get the camera out. There we go. Okay, and now I believe the box is empty. But I just want to make sure. There we go. Nothing left in the box. Okay, I'm going to put the box down, save that there. Here's all the bits that come in the box. And hoping you can see them all. There you go. I guess we'll move things a little closer like that. So this is the camera itself. It is now the Blackmagic says it's a small camera, and I guess by digital cinema standards it is relatively small. But here you go. Now there's mounting points on the bottom. This is a standard 1/4 inch mount, and there's also mounting points on the top, so you can suspend it from a device, or you can set it on top of a tripod like cameras have been done traditionally, or you can also mount additional hardware on top, like you've got an additional monitor or lights or microphones or whatever. You've got mounting points for those devices on top. These are the loops for the strap. Now on the side, one of the great things about the Blackmagic camera is it has industry standard connectors. It says this is the headphone jack right there. Underneath here is audio in, so it's got 2 1/4 inch audio in jacks on it. It has an SDI, that stands for Serial Digital Interface. So this is an HD SDI uncompressed video output on this BNC connector. This looks like it's the power connector, goes right there. And actually that's the power connector. This one is a Thunderbolt connector for very fast interchange with the computer if you want to get the data out of the camera really quickly. Now that I've mentioned the data out of the camera, underneath this hatch on the other side, the storage format for the Blackmagic Cinema Camera is a 2.5 inch standard solid state drive, and they provided me with a couple of Vertex drives. This is, I don't know if you can see this or not, it is a 240 gigabyte. I'm going to hold it up a little closer to the camera. It is a 240 gigabyte solid state drive, and that goes into this slot here. I'm not going to do it. Actually, I'll go ahead and do it right now. It goes in there just like that. So now I have mounted the power into the camera. Not the power, the storage. It also looks like there's a USB connector underneath here too, so it's kind of handy to have that as well. Now, I don't see where it has a replaceable battery. I believe it has a built-in battery. Blackmagic says that the built-in battery is good for 90 minutes of life. However, when you're out in the field running a lot of gear, you can run down the battery very quickly. So Blackmagic sent me an external battery. Now this does not come with the camera. This is an external battery that mounts on the bottom and then plugs into the power port on the side of the camera. So they did send me that. Now another thing they did not send me a lens. I mentioned that I have a couple of good Panasonic micro 4/3 lenses. This one is a 12 to 35 millimeter lens. Now in the micro 4/3 world, which is what this is, its nominal rating is 12 to 35, but you double each of those numbers to get its actual 35 millimeter performance. So in other words, this will act like a 24 millimeter lens at the wide end and a 70 millimeter lens at the telephoto end. So that's what this lens is. It's a very high quality lens. It's an f2.8 lens that I spent a lot of money for because I use it with my Panasonic GH3. So you can see what the size of the Panasonic GH3 is with a big lens on it versus the Blackmagic Cinema Camera MFT. So the Panasonic G3 is considerably smaller. Of course, this also takes very high quality stills and gets out only up to HD quality video for the Panasonic, whereas this does a little better than HD quality video. So that's an interesting thing that I want to deal with. So let's go ahead and get the lens in here. We'll take that off. We'll take this off, the lens, and it should, there's a red dot here, and there's a red dot on my lens, and those two should just go in like that. And now my lens is on. Take the lens cap off, and now I have the Blackmagic Design Cinema Camera MFT ready to go. Now this camera is really not meant to be handheld, so one of the accessories they gave me is a grip that I can use to grip the camera on either side. I have that in a different room, so I'm not going to be using it right now. Now one of the features of this camera is a 5-inch diagonal LCD display. It's a touchscreen, so that you can access the features of the camera. This has a resolution of 800 by 480 pixels. So its resolution is much lower than the overall resolution of the camera. But I'm eager to see what its quality is. And again, here on the back, you also have very nice looking, very big and easy to understand what they're doing controls. Obviously the record button, play, fast forward, rewind, and stop. So very nice, a big menu button. You've got a focus button there and an iris button here. So very nice. So that is a look at the unboxing of the Blackmagic Design Cinema Camera MFT. This stores raw, uncompressed, and compressed video formats. The formats are, I mentioned raw, that's uncompressed, and it will also do in the compressed domain, it'll do ProRes file formats and DNxHD. And it can record frame rates from 24, actually 23.98 for cinematic frame rates, all the way up to 30 frames per second. One other thing that it includes is UltraScope waveform monitor software that you run on your computer, so you can have this plugged into the computer while you're shooting and see true waveform and vector scope displays to make sure that you get a precise adjustment for this. Very nice. Now, for those of you who don't want the Micro Four Thirds mount, you can get the identical camera with an EF mount that can be modified for, it can be adapted for a wide range of lenses. But since I already had the Micro Four Thirds, I thought that I would go ahead and get that. So that is the unboxing of the Blackmagic Design Cinema Camera MFT. Hey everybody, I'm Bob Kovacs. Thanks for watching.